Hi, folks. Welcome to the Weekend Hangover. I'm Davy. Jackie's not here today because she's enjoying some family time. We have some great guests tonight. We will be speaking about religion today, but clink, clink, bitches. Welcome to the Weekend Hangover. Hi, and welcome. Momma J is on assignment having fun with the family, as I just said. But today is going to be a little bit of different. I'm on a journey to kind of find myself with some things that are going on in my personal life. I've found myself back into religion and trying to take a deep dive into God and Christ. Is it for everyone? Supposedly. But you know, I've done it before and I keep forgetting to continue. I don't finish off. I tend to get to where I feel good and then I back off. And so I'm going to finish this time. I'm going to as you say, I forget the words that I'm looking for. But I'm going to follow through. That's it. That's what I was looking for. I'm going to follow through. Because when we get sick, what do? We take the medication that the doctor gives us for a couple of days and then we stop. If they say take penicillin for 7 days and you feel fine after 5 days, what do? You stop. You're like, I'm good. I took it for 5 days. And you never know. If you finish maybe those 7 days, maybe you'll never need what you needed the penicillin for again. But because you didn't follow through, because you didn't finish, because you felt good and stopped taking it, it'll happen again. So I'm going to be joined by my Friday co-host, Kelly, a.k.a. Beautiful Mistake. She is a mistake. I should just talk all this nonsense while she can't talk. She's down there in the green room, quote unquote, and just say a whole bunch of mean stuff. But I'm not going to do that. We should be joined by SpikeUnplugged also soon. She's giving me the middle finger. But yeah, we should be. Hopefully, we did a test this morning and, a little bit of an issue, but, But yeah, so folks, we will be talking about religion today. And so without any further ado, here's Kelly.
What up? Okay, first things first. If you don't finish your antibiotics, they don't kill the bacteria. And then the bacteria starts to build a resistance to the antibiotics. That's why the doctors are very specific that you need to finish even if you start feeling better.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't. When I had flesh-eating bacteria in my sinuses, that's what they told me.
Huh.
I was very close to being bacteria resistant. I can't talk without my teeth.
You are a bacteria.
I'm not.
Dude, Friday's episode was fun. Friday's episode was really fun. Mm-hmm. If y'all haven't seen it yet, me and Kelly do a podcast called We Don't Know Either podcast on Fridays at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. And basically, we just go back and forth at each other. But we try to be informative.
I got yelled at in your comment section on TikTok.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was. She's a good friend of ours, and But listen, that's what happens. People see a little bit, and then they get mad. They want to fight you because because how dare you talk to him like that? But it's what it is. I mean, if somebody you were on a podcast or talking to somebody else, and somebody else was doing that, I think me or Mitch would be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you, bro?"
Mitch wants to give a shit.
But yeah, so I mean, we kind of talked about my situation a couple weeks ago. I'm waiting for Spike. I think he got lost somewhere in the internet. But I kind of wanted to talk about, like religion, because I don't think we ever really dove into it. I don't think we ever
Mm-mm.
really dove into religion, and um,
It's not something you can actually talk about very often either. That's why I was like, let me come in, because I never get to talk about my journey back to God and my faith. People just don't understand.
no, they don't. I mean, and it's funny because you talk to people about religion, and they give you the, oh, I don't care, like you can believe in God, but like I've gone through so much trauma and all this, and I don't believe in God anymore because God doesn't exist. If he existed, why would he give kids cancer? Why if God existed, why would he give little kids big giant things on their head? Why can't God just fix everybody in Africa? And it's like it's
Because
like
then
that.
it wouldn't be fun living. If, and I'm not talking about the cancer thing. I'm just
Yeah. No.
but
Yeah. I mean, God puts things in front of you that for a reason, to teach
mhm.
you a lesson, to teach you what you need to learn. Like my lesson right now is patience. I don't have patience at
Must
all.
be very hard for you.
I don't, okay? I don't have patience. I don't have patience. But through this journey, I'm learning patience, and I'm learning that if I just believe in God and trust in God, that there is a reason why I'm going through the things that I'm going through. And the same thing with you and with everybody else.
Mhm.
The reason why you go through things that you go through is so that way you learn and and follow through. For me, I don't follow through. I get to the point where I feel better, and then that's it.
I'm sorry. I have a computer chair right across from me. Nymeria is jumping on it and spinning around in it.
Okay, okay. That would make me laugh too. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I can see your face like,
No, she's got like a look of enjoyment.
yeah.
Nymeria. Oh my god.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm learning a lot of stuff. Like everybody keeps telling me, well, learn what you love to do. Just take this time to learn what you like to do. What you're good at, and I go, I know what I'm good at. I'm good at making myself look like a dum dum, and I
I'm
know
talking shit to your friends.
yeah. I'm good. My thing is I feel good when I can provide for my family
Yeah.
and when I can make people laugh. And those are the two things I
Well,
enjoy the most in my life.
and that's one of the things, like, when I talk about our Friday show, I'm like, I love it because he jokes about my trauma and no one else does. They treat me like this fragile little thing that can't handle anything, but he cracks jokes and they're funny.
And I like that. And I love the fact that we could just bullshit around. And like I got nothing but love for you, Cal. Like I would, if anything happened to you, like I would go and be there, you know. But I'm going to still and that's how I care about. If I don't like you, one, I'm not going to talk to you, and two, I'm not going to bust your balls because that's the way I am. If I bust your balls, like I like you.
You
I
need to
feel like
amend the
you.
5 love languages to 6.
Yeah, they
Busting
really
balls.
did busting balls. Well, actually, Jersey has 6. Jersey's the busting balls one. And I tried to tell my wife that. Like, my wife didn't understand that because she grew up in a very religious home, but she has some stuff she has to work through. She was made fun of as a kid, and she didn't like it, and you know, but I was telling, dude, if I bust your balls, I love you because I can bust your balls. You can bust my balls,
Mhm.
you know. But if we bust each other's balls, that's a love language. Like, yeah, like busting balls is a love language. You're right, you know,
It is.
and and it's and that's what I love to do, and I know what I like. But this, I feel everybody's like, well, you got to find yourself and see. I know who I am. I know my faults and I need to correct my faults. That's what this is about. This is about correcting my faults and not following through on the things that I make promises on and the things that I say I'm going to do and the things I start to do and then stop. You know, and I feel like a lot of people have that issue. A lot of people, you know, when you first get together, it's like, oh, I will do anything for this person. And then you settle into this like
complacency.
Well, yeah, this complacency. And you can't forget that you have to remind your person why they love you. You have to kind of remember the reason they fell in love with you. You know, and through God right now, I'm realizing that the reason why I am loved is because I'm me. And I forget that I'm me. You know, and I try to overcompensate. I forget that, you know, like you don't like things being bought for you, right?
Well, I don't like being given presents to say I'm sorry.
Yeah. But
it doesn't mean anything to me.
And that's what I have to learn. Not everybody enjoys that. You know, everybody a lot, especially women.
I like gift giving though. I just don't like receiving.
But a lot of women don't like that because that's a lot of men put them in that cycle. A lot of men put them in that cycle where it's like, oh, well, we got into an argument or I put my hands on you or, you know, you put your hands on me or something happens or, you know, I'll go into your past and really mind fuck the shit out of you and make you go to a deep, dark place. And then, but then, hey, here's a new car. Here's that thing you wanted. Here's the new, you know, here's a new boat. Like, you know, here's
where do I find a husband that buys me a new boat that I can get on board with?
Literally. You know, here's a vacation for you and your girlfriends. Go, you know.
You want to have girlfriends to do that? Yeah. I hate girls.
But you know, that's a cycle that you have to learn to break. You know, and you have to realize that the reason why, if you just follow in Christ and you follow the journey that he wants you to be and realize that it's not your life. It's not. What I'm going through, I can't force things to happen. Cuz the more you force it, the more it gets either worse. Could it get better? Yeah. But if I didn't have this issue right now, I wouldn't be learning what to do. I wouldn't be learning what truly is my downfall and actually sticking with it. Yeah. Actually sticking with it, like doing the laundry, doing the, you know, making sure the house is.
You're wearing clean.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just said you don't do the laundry.
The shirt I'm actually wearing, my wife bought me, and I haven't worn in a while. And because of the situation I'm going through, I've actually lost a few pounds, so it fits me again. But you know, and when I started the Just Davy TikTok page and went all and started going through, because TikTok will just, whatever algorithm you start.
You have me stuck on like failed relationship talk.
Yeah, I know like, that too. I'm on that too.
I'm like contemplating leaving Mitch because it all makes
But here's the thing.
No,
like,
I'm really not.
And this is what we were talking about before. Like everybody's different. Like you can't sit there and tell somebody, oh yeah, this person's definitely doing this. Oh yeah, this person's definitely doing that. They're doing this because of the stuff that you've been through or the stuff that you've done. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah. But so with everybody being different, the one consistency you have in your life is God. And the one person you can always turn to is God. So this happened this morning, okay? And this is what keeps reaffirming my faith. And when I tell you he's talking to you, you're not just paying, and you're not paying attention, that's on you. This morning, I get up, I get woken up by my buddy Whoopi. Oh, which speaking of, I have to send him this. My buddy Whoopi, and shit. And I forgot. See, I forgot. I was like, and he woke me up, and I was like, shit, it's 10:30. I got stuff to do today, and blah blah blah. And so
6:30 today. And actually,
did you really?
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't know what to do. I was like texting my daughters. I'm like, wake up. It's so quiet in here.
Oh, okay. Whoopi said he's in the Rumble. I gotta pull up the Rumble because Rumble's different. I can't. Let me see.
That is a weird ass fucking noise you just made.
Really?
Yeah. It like vibrates my ears.
I can't even see. Where the heck am I? Do I have to be out of this? I gotta sign out. I think I gotta sign out of Rumble and then sign back in. But, you know, Whoopi called me this morning because he FaceTimes me all the time. And hey, I'll take a new boat. Whoopi said he'll take a new boat. But so he called me this morning, and so, you know, I had some shit I had to take care of and stuff like that, and the church I listen to and I watch on Sundays is from back home in Jersey. It's Emergence Church. It was a church I went to when you know, my first day of sobriety, and so, and once again, I stopped watching it. I stopped. I went to the I'm good portion.
Yeah.
And I stopped. So this morning, I get up, I start doing some stuff, and it's cold because I dropped the temperature in here because I'm like, I just wanted to. And I put on a sweater, and I go and I'm doing stuff, and I took the dogs out. I go sit down to start to watch the service, and the pastor, or I forget what to call them in Christianity, the pastor or the priest, you know,
what denomination?
Christian.
Okay, but what sub-Christian?
It's
Like Baptist, Methodist, Protestant,
I guess
not
Presbyterian.
probably a minister or pastor.
Okay, so the pastor. So one of the pastors who leads the music portion, you know, tells everybody to stand, and then they and I'm sitting there going, I'm home. What do I need to stand for? I'm like, I'll just, you know, sit down and enjoy it. So I'm sitting down, and Cuddle starts to growl at me, kind of, and I'm like, what? Shut up, you know, shut up. She jumps over me, lays on my phone. I go to pick up my phone, and I go to put it in my pocket because I'm wearing a hoodie, and there's no pocket. And I'm going, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm like, what the? Sweater's inside out, right? So the sweater's inside out. So I get up and I turn it inside out. And as I go to put it back on, I go,
Right side out.
yeah, whatever. As I put it back on, I go, I'm standing.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, okay.
Were you holding your shirt up like this the whole time?
Well, no. I put my shirt on and then I went like this, like, you know, you're supposed to do in church. But yeah, I was dead set on just sitting there and just listening. And even though he said get up, I was like, I'm home. And fucking God went, nope, get up. And I was like, okay, I'll get up. And it's just like, it's stuff like that. You're just like,
What?
shit.
Love you.
And it's stuff like that is like, shit. You know,
Well, when I first got clean, I was living in Connecticut, and I had a good friend there. that had cirrhosis of the liver, and they were doing a biopsy to check for liver cancer. And I was going to church every Sunday morning mass, and then I would go to the Saturday afternoon ones for the Sunday one. And the morning of his biopsy, I went to church, and as Catholics, we go in, we genuflect, we kneel, and we pray before the mass. So I was praying to God, and I was saying, please don't let him feel pain. Don't let him be in pain. Just fix it. Don't let it be cancer. Just things to that aspect. So finish my prayer, sit down. The priest reads the reading, and then during the homily where they do their preaching, I kid you not, he's like, you can't just pray for someone's physical well-being. You have to pray for their spiritual well-being as well. And starts going on and on. I just looked up. I'm like, really, dude? My bad. And then, but that's how it's always been for me since I got back to my faith. And I mean, I hate that I'm a recovering addict. I hate that I allowed myself to get addicted. And I hated the things that I did while I was addicted, but it brought me back to God. And I don't think anything else would have.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, people with trauma, they think that God allows it to happen to them. And in my journey since I've realized that he didn't allow it to happen, it happened. And instead, he was holding my hand and carrying me and helping me survive each and every time that I needed him. And now, having the nonprofit, having the Unbroken podcast, I'm helping so many people because with my kind of trauma, with the trafficking, like people just don't understand unless they've been through it.
Yeah.
And now I'm a survivor and I can understand it for other people.
Make it. I'm a survivor. Keep on surviving. What happened? Well, our other guest finally made it.
Well, let me just finish my sentence. I was just going to say, and to me, that was a journey I had to go through so I could be who I am now and do the things that I'm doing now. And who else would have put me on that journey? I sure as fuck didn't choose it. No. But they always say God will not give you anything that you aren't strong enough to handle. But I also wish God would teach me how to be the badass that he thinks I am.
You are a badass. You are a bad asshole. Anyway.
I thought you were complimenting me, dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the man who is about to explode this podcast right now and bring it to the next level, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to use his government name, SpikeUnplugged.
What's up, friends? This is dedicated to Beautiful Mistake up there. Kelly, let's sing this song. Check it out. Oh, I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. What? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Davy, friend.
Hi, friend.
How you doing?
All right,
enough of that, Beyonce. Thank you.
Yeah, don't touch anything, by the way. Whatever you're doing, don't touch things.
Leave all the cords where they're at.
You're
Hey, I'm ready this time, Beautiful Mistake. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I got to hear a part of that. I'm echoey. Let me just we'll fix that. Okay, we're good. I just touched one thing.
Yeah, don't play any sound effects because that's what killed it this morning.
Well, the power killed it this morning. Yeah. But I got to hear some of your story. That's really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
That you're helping a lot of people. I think that's freaking awesome.
Well, and that's actually why I go by Beautiful Mistake. It's a rough translation, a Sanskrit term. Okay. That means that nothing in life is a mistake, that everything happens for a reason. And at the end, it's beautiful.
You know what? Absolutely. Yes. I have a banana on my shoulder. And in it, you can't see it now. This banana is like
I have a naked banana on my ankle.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Different podcast.
Different podcast. In the outline here, there is a sentence in Spanish, and it says "La vida es buena, El amor es real, which means, translates to life is good, love is real. It's what I always say and always will, because in life, everything is good.
Mhm.
Because what is the opposite of life? And if you say death, you're wrong. Death is
Go
a
ahead,
part of
Davey.
life.
You
The
think you're
opposite of
smart.
life is to never exist at all, to never have existed at all. And who wants that? Who
I thought
wants
it was
that?
banana pudding.
Well, that too. That too. Hi,
But
team.
yeah, hi.
Thank you guys for waiting. I thought it was 6:00. Your time, which I guess that is now. So
No,
I
it's
thought it
7
was
o'clock
7
our time.
o'clock.
It's
Yeah,
7.
7:00 your time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Are
7:30
you
right
an
now.
hour ahead of me or 2 hours?
It's 7:30 right now. So whatever time it is for you.
It's 5:30. So
Okay,
I
so
was
it's 2
thinking,
hours.
I thought you were an hour ahead. So
That's fine.
I was like pumped
Listen,
ready
you're
to go
he-
6.
You're here.
I
You're
hate
queer. You're
time zones.
beautiful.
Hey man, I'm here. I'm queer, and I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, I've
Speaking
lived
of
in
queer,
every single time zone in the country. I fucking hate time zones.
No, you were dragged through every single time zone in the country.
I wasn't dragged. This is after I escaped and I moved on my own.
God, that's
This is Friday. This
Well,
is what
okay, is it like that?
Friday. Friday's a lot worse. I'm trying to keep it a little bit better because this is
And it's hurting his face. Like you can see it.
I mean, that does hurt my face. Like that's pretty. We
No.
just had the Sound of Freedom, guys. Come on, the Sound of
Oh,
Freedom.
don't go there.
Number one
Don't go
hit
there.
movie, Sound of
Don't-
Freedom, and the main what
Well,
is
I guess we
what's his
can go
name?
there because it's religion.
It's religion. It's religion, right? It's about religion.
How is it about religion?
Listen, I'm not seeing the film. I haven't seen the film. I refuse
Maybe
to see
you
the
should.
film. You think I
No,
should?
don't. No, I don't
No,
think you
I'm
should.
not
I
going to.
regret going.
Yeah, I'm not going to because people didn't pause. People didn't pause. I'm sorry to jump in here with this, but the Sound of
Okay.
Freedom. Here's the issue with the Sound of Freedom is that everybody's talking about it, right? And they want you to go see this fucking film. You got to go see the film. You got to go see the film. It's all about human, child trafficking and stuff like that.
It's not.
So at first you're like, oh, okay, oh, cool. I'm going to go see this film. But if you pause, you got a lot of celebrities telling you to go see this fucking film, right? And you're like, okay, so if I go see the film, like, what's going to happen? Am I going to be like this crusader now that saves children? Like, how many kids were saved? You know how they say, nobody was hurt during the filming of this. How many kids were saved during the filming of this? Like how many kids were actually saved or are planning to be saved from the money that's being made off this film? Who's benefiting from this film off of these?
I actually just before we logged in saw a tweet where a man said that Angel Studios should donate the money that they're making to anti-trafficking organizations.
100%.
The hate that man is getting is insane.
Right. And that's one of the main.
And that's the thing. And that's what my problem with it is now. Fake Jesus. I call him that because I can never say.
She doesn't like Jim Caviezel.
Oh,
he was in. I loved him in The Passion of Christ. I think he's a great actor. But
Passion of Christ was a great fucking film.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
It was a great film. I was indoctrinated back then, so I'd have to.
But it's like
what
now they're the spokespeople for child trafficking.
Yeah,
and they're lying. They are spreading things that are not even true, that have been proven not to be true over and over again. But everyone keeps turning to them like it's the end all. Like you have to see this movie, and if you don't, you support child trafficking.
It's that part.
It is one case. The very first case that Tim Ballard did years ago. And
did he actually save a kid? Like, did he actually save this kid? Like,
what happened? He was working with Homeland Security and the Child Crime Unit, and they would bring down child pornography rings. And in the movie, and I'm pretty sure this did happen in real life, one of the people on his task force said, "How many pedophiles have you brought down?" And then I can't remember how many he said. And he's like, "Well, how many children have you saved?"
That part.
And he decided that the girl in the video that he was going to go and get, that he was going to go down there and get her. Well, he ended up saving her brother. And when he got, the brother was intercepted at the border because they were bringing him here. And as soon as he got him safe, the little boy said, "Are you going to go and get my sister?" And that's basically what the entire movie is about him saving a brother and a sister.
Okay, and it's based on a true story then.
It's based on Tim Ballard. So Tim Ballard eventually left Homeland Security and branched out on his own. And that's what this movie's about. Now, Tim Ballard has come under a lot of scrutiny. I've seen some podcasts and interviews that he did that make me literally sick to my stomach. I don't trust the guy anymore. But
here's if we can push the conversation forward. There's so many damn pastors, right? Youth pastors that are just talk about child trafficking. These fucking youth pastors are fucking just out of control. They're in the news. As far as I'm concerned, they're in the news almost damn near on a weekly basis. We got youth pastors
and
that are harming kids. Where's the film on that? Let's do a film.
There's been documentaries and filming. And
but the problem with the pastors, DAs are only going after them because of the headlines. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
There was in one area where I grew up, there was a pastor that got 18 months for molesting 2 boys.
Yeah.
The very next week, a man was arrested for, I don't know if I can say it on, but
just say it. Who cares?
Pot,
YouTube, right? Or
marijuana.
Oh, smoke some.
26 years.
26 years. Exactly.
And the priest got 18 months. And what they did with Bill Cosby, they were demanding in Pennsylvania to change the statute of limitations just to go after Bill Cosby. That's all they want is the headlines.
That's all they want. And honestly, like Bill Cosby, oh my goodness. This is so little segue. Discover Eats, ladies and gentlemen, has brought me homemade meatballs. He's doing meal prep today. And so this is just part of the menu for the week. Sorry. I have to food test. I have to taste the food. Sorry, I'm like salivating over here.
He brought you 2 balls?
He brought me 2 balls, baby. Okay. And they're just as big as his. You know what I'm saying? Dave, you know what I'm talking about, right?
A little cheesy, huh?
Love it, cheesy, baby. Don't clean me up.
But yeah, it's the thing is that people are going after them though. Like people are going after these youth pastors. But they're all going
finished, and they do it every. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they do it. Operation Cross Country. They've been doing it every year for almost, I think, over a decade now. It's a 3-day operation. They brought down 200 traffickers, rescued like a few dozen victims, and actually, they actually found some missing kids too that were taken into trafficking.
That's
every
good.
year, end of July.
Really good. That's really good.
And I've seen a lot of like.
And it's funny, I posted it on Instagram, and all my friends that like the post are sending me articles from a different news source. I'm like, it's the same thing. I'm like, you liked the post, you commented.
But I also think it's like they because I've seen people posting about going to these conferences where they will go after people, but that doesn't get traction.
What does that mean?
I guess they have these conferences of who they're, because I forget the guy's name, but he's on TikTok, and he went and actually there was a list of children that were missing due to sex trafficking, and he found them. He found like 11 out of the 14 or something like that.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So like they are people. No, what are you shaking your head no for?
I'm not going to go there.
Oh.
It was staged.
Oh!
It was?
Mm-hmm.
This is the greatest show.
Really? I love when he sings that. Wow.
Yeah, the whole thing was staged. That was the drama I was telling you about.
Insane,
Okay.
It was all staged. So
really?
And that's the thing so the big problem is with TikTok, with social media, everybody can have a voice, which is great. But a lot of people are jumping on the sex trafficking bandwagon, and it's trendy. So they make their nonprofit and they act like they're going and doing everything. But what are they doing with the money?
That part right there too. There was a lot of TikTokers. I was just scrolling, and of course this is like the hot topic for the week. And
Oh,
I'm
they
seeing
won't
these
shut
like
up about the sound
they
of
won't shut up.
freedom.
Listen, and people are tapping in. They're like, "Why are you tapping in right now? Why is this post viral?" Right? I saw this like 7-minute post of this girl saying, people are saying that the movie is like fake and stuff, but let me tell you, I have firsthand experience. So you're like hooked. You're like, okay, well, tell me all about it then. She goes on and on and on, starts crying at the end of it, just to say that she worked at a facility where she had access to documents. Okay, we don't know that this is true. She's just making this.
It's not.
Never tells us anything. Never says anything that happened, but just that, trust me, it's true. And then starts crying and making it about herself. I was like, that's reason number one I'm not going. There's too many people who are using this opportunity to get views and to get clicks. And it's like,
But
isn't this supposed to be about the kids? Like, why?
It
why are
is,
y'all
and
like?
that's why
It's weird to me.
And that's why you and with that, and this is what with that you can't you can judge them, but they'll get theirs in the end. With if you believe in your religion, if you believe in faith, and you believe in God, they're going to get theirs at the end because they are using God to profit themselves. And as you said, the same thing. Biz said the same thing the other day.
They might not be using God. They might be using the other guy.
Well, they're using the devil or Satan as a moniker of God. They're saying that it's in the name of God when we know it's not. We know it's in the name of Satan because Satan is very good at changing into what you want. Okay? Satan is very good at being at the door and waiting for you to let him in. And as soon as he's in, he starts messing with your mind. And this is a lot of stuff that I'm working on myself. This is, I with the things that are going on, I can't help what's going on. I just have to sit here and believe in God and know that God will guide me in the right way and God will show me what he wants me to do. If he wants me to be with this person that is this, to be in vicinity with a person that's this, that's what he wants me to do. So I can either learn from, hey, this is what I need to stay away from. This is what I need to stay away from. But the devil's always there. The devil is always going to be there to trick you into thinking this is good for you.
Interesting. Dave, so where are you at with religion and God and stuff? I feel like you're on a journey right now. I think that's a great little segue to open it up because when I speak my piece, it might not be so, friendly. I have some views about religion and about God itself, and so I'd love to hear your take.
So what my journey is, and we were talking about this in the beginning, is I don't follow through. Okay, I'm a person that doesn't. And we spoke this morning. You asked me a question of what I one of the questions was, what do I like to do? What makes me happy? What?
Why would anyone want to know that?
Because Spike is a very caring person, unlike the person next to me.
Try to be.
But you were talking about like what am I about? Like what? And my thing is, I want to provide for my family, and I want to make people smile and happy. Okay, that's my thing. I like fishing. I like golfing. I like riding a motorcycle. I like going out and having and relaxing and chilling. But the things that make me happy and make me fulfilled the most is knowing I can provide for my family and making people laugh.
And what does that have to do with God though? Like, so what's your
with God is like, so right now I'm kind of in a funk, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm bringing, not that I'm bringing people down, but like, I'm trying to do this.
You're
and I'm trying
definitely messing with their TikTok algorithms.
You're navigating life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really messing with people's algorithms. I really am. But yeah, I'm navigating, and trying to get myself to a point where I can stop trying to force things to happen. Because I've done that my entire life. Okay. If I don't like the results, I force it to happen. If it doesn't come out the way that I think it should come out, I get upset and I get angry. And I get upset and angry and I project it on everybody else. And it's everybody else's fault. It's never my fault. I tried to do what I tried to do, and it's not my fault. It's your fault. And then I get vindictive and hurtful, and I don't have patience, and I don't follow through, and that's my thing. And I have to learn that I have to have patience. Have to learn that it's not my journey. Okay, it's my journey, but it's not in my hands. It's in God's hands. It's what God wants me to do. God is making me feel this way because I have always tried to force things to happen, and I need to learn patience. I need to learn follow through. I need to finish what I started. I need to say what I say and mean what I say. And a lot of times I don't mean what I say. Like I will, I speak sometimes I speak like a buffoon, and I was like, that's not what I meant to say. But shut up.
That's that time when you got to pause. You have to pause.
And that's it. And that's what I have to. That's one of the things I have to learn. And that's one of the things
you have to learn how to spell there, and there.
Very, very, very wise. That's very important. There, and there, because if you don't do that, people won't shut the fuck up about it.
But
they understand. You know what I mean?
I'm always like,
Davey, can I ask you a question?
Hold on, let me finish. Yeah. And I have to be able to look myself in the mirror and know that I can handle it, because I haven't been able to. Every time when I look in the mirror, I just think I'm a failure. Every time, no matter what. If I didn't take out the garbage like she asked me to, and she had to do it, I can't look at myself in the face and go and just say, make sure you do it next time. I go, I failed. Every time where she tells me something and I don't do what she asked me to do, maybe minuscule, big, whatever, I feel like a failure. And that's on me. And I can't look at myself, and I need to look at myself and say, you've got this. You're a great person. You need to listen and shut your mouth. You need to shut your mouth, and you need to listen, and listen with intent, and not listen to just retort or to blame or to make an excuse.
Okay.
My father-in-law said it to me. I always have to win, and he's not wrong. I always have to win, and I can't. And I have to learn that losing, you learn more with losing sometimes than you do with winning. And that's
a lot more.
And that's my journey.
Taking the L is fun.
But not only taking the L, but realize, but learning. That's it. Learning the lesson. Taking the L is easy. Taking the L is like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I forgot, my bad. I'm sorry. I'll remember next time. And then it happens again, and you go, oh shit, my bad. I'll do it next time. And then it happens again. And there's so much somebody can take with, oh shit, I'm sorry. And then you become a liar. And then you are not fulfilling what you're supposed to. And that's my journey through God right now, is just to remind myself and to learn to, hey, it's not gonna take you, it's gonna take you an extra 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. What is that gonna do to your life? Sitting on the couch more, sitting down here in the basement, playing for an extra 10 minutes, not sitting with my wife and actually having an in-depth conversation, reminding myself of why she fell in love with me, what I did to get her to love me. And remember that every day, anything could happen. Any day, she can walk out, she could pass away, I can walk out, I could pass away. Anything could happen. And not looking at my wife and realizing every single day that it's God's blessing that she is in my life, and knowing that I need to do everything in my power every single day to remind her that I love her, and for her to know that I will fulfill every need and desire she needs, and follow through, is the journey that I'm on. Yes, ma'am.
I do feel very womanly today.
You do.
I'm just glad we're talking about loss and not defeat. Because if you
that's it. That's interesting. So, is your wife watching right now?
No.
Okay. Okay. Here's my question to you, Davy, because you are in it right now. You are in it, and I can see it, and I can feel it, and that's what you're talking about, right? Like you're in it, and you're going through it. You're going through the emotions. Here's my question to you. You said that you look into the mirror and you essentially tell yourself that you failed, right?
Mhm.
You speak that into that person.
Mhm.
You are God. And when you use your power for evil and you tell that person in the mirror that you're a piece of shit and you failed today, again, asshole, loser, what you speak, you spell.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
my question to you is, what makes you think that the God that is outside of you that you are now seeking and having a relationship with, which I'm like, hey man, live your life, do your thing. I'm not going to judge you. What makes you think that this outside being, who you are very much alike, because he made you in his image.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that, right?
Mhm.
What makes you think that he is going to have any power over the monster that you have created with the power that he's given you? Woo! Come on.
Bam.
Come on. Listen. What you
Because
speak, you spell. What, hold on.
Okay.
You said a lot. You said a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to answer this right now. I don't want you to answer. Just pause. Pause for a second. Pause.
See, I see what I mean.
Patient.
I'm pausing. I thought you were done now.
Yeah. You said a whole, but you said a lot of very good things, right? But are you listening to yourself? You know what I mean? Like, and I think that there might be times when you're listening a little too hard to yourself, right? You're
Mhm.
listening too hard to that person who is scared to win. You talked about not everything can be win. Yes, it can. Shit, there are people who win every fucking day, every moment of life. They are winning. Want to know why? Because they are present and they are living. That's a win, baby. That's a W. Take that fucking W any fucking time you can. When you take those W's away from you, and I'm speaking because I've navigated this too, maybe currently navigating it. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm. You are a mirror. We are all. I mean, we are all connected.
I'm darker than I thought it was.
Well, hey. Okay, you do live in Arizona, so
I live in Kansas. You.
if I'm the mirror, you live in Arizona.
Oh.
Come on, listen. You're not even listening. So
My kid has been talking nonstop about Arizona today too.
Arizona is wild. It's a wild place, man. Like
I have
there's
a good friend that
plants-
lives there.
I have plants that are like bitch, you've been with me forever. Just dying, just like, oh, all right, Spike, this is my time. I gotta go. I'm like, God dang, man, the sun is like, it's insane. I really
She
think that
has
the
her
government is
house.
doing it.
It looks like the 1970s because she has
Yeah.
black lights everywhere for the scorpions.
Yeah. We don't have any scorpions. I live in downtown Phoenix, but I think that the government.
That's where she's at.
I'm like tinfoil hatting with it. I think the government is raising the temperatures on our asses, just like they made it snow in Texas and have blizzards in fucking Texas when that's never fucking happened. But we're not going to talk about
It
that.
has.
Okay, well, not to that
A long
degree.
time ago, but they get snow once in a while. So does Florida.
Once in a while, they got shut down. Do you guys remember that? Like, I'm not talking.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I remember.
They got shut the fuck down, and I think
because we had it worse.
That was test number one. You know,
and they were all whining, and we had it worse. I was at negative 45 degrees, and they shut my power off.
It's insane.
And they were all complaining about 20 degrees losing their power. I'm like, what? Shut up.
Well, some people are built better. But the thing about it is
Yeah.
that I this is the greatest show, and I was just talking about
My
Kevin
son
about
has a
that.
good argument that they're controlling the weather from Antarctica. If you ever want to talk to him.
Oh God! Woo!
Friday's still open, pal.
Listen, well, when I speak about God, it's going to involve Antarctica. So to wrap it up, my friend, what makes you think that the God that you are seeking now is going to have any power over the monster that you created, the power that He has given you? That is the question for you, and don't answer it. Don't answer it. God,
Well, and my question is, why is your journey only about things that affected your marriage and not everything else? Because that's all you talk about.
But it is because it is.
Do I get to say don't answer too? Don't answer.
If you want.
Yeah, it's good. Tell them not to answer. Ah, stop having answers for everything.
And that's all. Like, I love you to death, but that's all you talked about is the wrongs that you did in your marriage. What about everywhere else?
Who are you before you were with her? You were somebody that she fell in love with. He's that guy. That guy was not married at all. Don't say nothing. Pause. Woo.
And you got to do it for yourself, not for anybody else. The same thing that they tell you when you first go into recovery. You can't get sober and get clean for yourself. Or for
No,
someone else.
For someone else, yeah.
You have to do it for
Hey,
yourself.
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it on this live. I'm going back to rehab, and I can't fucking wait.
Oh, good.
I'm going back to
Congrats.
rehab, and I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna be in Denver again, and I'm gonna be like
Whoever
other
is
girls
excited like
are,
that to be in
getting
Denver.
recovered and being a star. I'm gonna live without what's it called? Drugs. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I you know, I'm owning that shit live on this show with you, Davy, because we
And
are all
me.
connected. And you, and absolutely you. We are all connected. The reason why I talk to you the way I'm talking to you is I said this to my husband today. I said, fucking fuckable fuck. Here comes Davy out of nowhere, becoming the springboard that I fucking needed. Because I needed somebody to tell me exactly what I told you this morning in my tone. No one can say it like me. And that's just, it's a superpower that I have. And as I was saying it to you, I was like, fucking fuck. I'm projecting right now. I'm projecting, but I know that you can relate to it.
Yeah.
Everything I said to you is what I need to get off my fucking ass and do too. You know, like we're all connected. Everything happens for a reason. You are correct in that. You're correct in that. But in that same mindset, realize that when you speak shit into the mirror, everything happens for a reason. The reason you are shit is because you speak shit to the shit that's in the fucking mirror. But if you spoke power into the powerful motherfucker that's standing in the mirror, my God.
Kind of like they say when
My
you go
God.
on a job interview, don't dress for the job you're interviewing for. Dress for the job you want.
Just for the job, just dress for the job that you came to take. Shit.
I did not get the job when I dressed up like Superman. No,
Okay,
I'm
well.
joking.
You should have proved it and jumped off a building.
Right? You
Dang.
fucking up. Now let's talk about you. What you
No, like for real, when Mary Poppins came out, I jumped off the roof with an umbrella.
I did
Cracked my
too.
tooth.
Okay.
I think we all did at some
How old were you when
point.
you did that?
I was
A kid,
under
though, right?
6.
Kid, you still had your imagination. That's the
2
first
years
thing they
ago.
take away from us. Team, listen to this now. The first thing they take away from you, okay? Listen, I'm on that real government shit, okay? Government cheese, all right? That's what I'm on. First thing they take away from you, they teach you not to do is to imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They teach you to take your fucking imagination away and to get good grades, right? Fill your head with this learned shit, right? That's one of the first things that they do at these public schools while they're teaching you about the round earth. What the fuck does a child need to know about the earth being round for, and that there's a place called space that you can't go to? What use does a child have with that information? But to limit
I
his
don't know. I
fucking
went
life.
to private school and my son is homeschooled, so
That's
I'm
fine. You
out of
learned
my
about the round
element.
earth in that private school. I promise you that.
So
Anywho.
you're with my kid on the Earth is flat, but all the other planets are round.
So I'll tap in here. Let me talk about God for a second. I am an anti-religious human being. I don't like religion. Speaking a little bit to what Davey was talking about, and something I want you to kind of ponder on, and you can respond to this one. You were talking about how, you know, you just got to give it up to God. You know, you gotta let God. They'll get theirs, is what I heard you say, right? So, you know, these people are bad, but they will get theirs, right? A reckoning is coming to them. I think that is an unsafe space for children. I think it's an unsafe space for children to navigate, and I think that we have plenty of proof of this. And I think that the bills that were created for drag queens needs to apply to these fucking churches and these youth pastors. I think that there needs to be bills and laws created that keep children out of fucking churches. And one step further, this is gonna make some people mad, and that will keep children from being indoctrinated until they can consent to wanting to have religion in their life. That's what I think. I think that a child's mind should be free, and should be
Yeah, but my kid goes to church with his iPad, so I don't know how much he's actually hearing.
Listen, if the child finds church and wants to get into it and says, "Hey, mom, I think I discovered church. You know what? Hey, well, tell me all about it. What do you think?" You know, and then you start to ask them questions about it. But parents who, you know, and I'm not judging anybody. This is a hot take. I haven't even developed this thought yet, but I really honestly don't think that children belong in churches, specifically not alone, right? Not without their parents.
None really are though.
Well, but how are these kids getting molested by these damn pastors? These kids, there's a lot of vulnerable spaces that are left for children to navigate, and they do navigate.
Oh yeah.
And they end up hurt.
Well,
And
it's not done at Sunday mass. It's done.
It's done after
Yeah.
the grooming. It's done after the the building the relationship with the parents. It's very built in. And I've got some thoughts on that, man. Like this.
I wish I had a ding ding noise because here it comes.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Where's that?
Don't touch any buttons.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so listen. I'm just gonna do two. I'm gonna say two things, and then we can two things, okay? Because I'm gonna get to how I found God. So here's my thoughts about religion, and then here's how I found God. Okay, so the biggest thing is this, man. So with this, I feel like there's a lot of sexual tension, right? A lot of sexual curiosity and judgment that happens with people who were brought up in very religious households. I believe that these adults are navigating some hyper sexual curiosity because they are quick to be in everybody's bedroom. First of all, well, I don't want to hear about the LGBTQ and I don't agree with your sexuality. What the fuck do you need to agree with my sexuality about? Like, why are you thinking about my sexuality? Like that is just weird if we pause to reflect. And so there's a lot of Christian or just I'll say religious. I'll keep it PC here. There's a lot of religious mindsets that are really heavily into judgment and persecuting, going after people who are homosexual. There are laws in very heavily religious countries where homosexuality is people who are homosexual are being killed, right? America just broke a treaty or whatever with Uganda for that very reason. Okay, so again, suppress sexuality in your youth when you're supposed to be navigating and figuring it out and you're going through puberty, right? Your body is going through the change. Okay. And so that's where parents need to lean in and say, hey, what's going on today? Notice anything different? Okay, cool. Listen, I'm here. It's a clean space. This is a safe space. If anything happens down in your little, in your penis region, use the words that they are. If anything happens with your penis, maybe overnight. Okay. Listen, I'm here. I got some literature for you. I want you to navigate this safely. Okay. They're like, yeah.
I'm just laughing at the conversation when my daughter came out to me as a lesbian.
Yeah. Good. That's
she
awesome.
talked, when she told me, I was like, do you want to know the sexual positions that I use with your stepdad? She's like, no, why? I'm like, then why the fuck do I care what you do in your bed?
Well, but I think
I'm like, congrats.
It's
that, great. Yeah. Support you, but I don't care. Like, whatever.
Yeah. But I think, okay, listen, I'll meet you there. I will meet you there. I do think that parents need to be involved in the puberty element of a child's growing up because that is again, it's another space where they are vulnerable to traffickers, to people who are grooming them, right? Mm-hmm. So children need to know as young, and when I say children, what I'm talking about are like teens going through puberty. So that's what, let me just put that for the record there, right? So teens going through puberty need to know who they are. They need to know what they're navigating, and they need to know how to navigate that safely, right? When I first learned that my penis got hard, I fucked a velvet couch and hurt myself, right? So, and that's because I didn't fucking know, Listen, I'm a child. I'm a fucking child. Y'all can all go straight to hell. That couch felt good until it didn't.
No,
okay?
Hold on. The fact that it was a velvet couch and you does not surprise me.
Baby, listen.
Well, that's my daughter just found out that penises don't have bones.
Shit, couldn't tell me nothing.
That what?
In the garage too.
Penises don't have bones in them.
Bam, bam.
She's like, Mom, did you know that a penis doesn't have a bone? Yes, I knew that.
Okay, but she didn't know that, right? So again, a child is navigating something that it's a brand new world for them. Parents need to lean in there. Heavily religious parents don't.
That's not always.
Do you want to talk about stereotypical? You fucked a velvet couch.
I fucked the shit out of that velvet couch.
As long as it wasn't an apple pie.
Take a taxi the next day. And then my family continued to sit on that couch. That's what was really, really bad about the whole damn thing.
Christmas
It was
Carol.
in the den. It was in the den. I fucked the shit out of that couch. I was sad to see it when we replaced it because we got like a leather couch and it wasn't the same thing. But then I learned about loot. So then that was a whole new relationship. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so religious parents oftentimes they don't lean in, and what that does for the child is it leaves them navigating that alone in shame a lot of the time, right? So now, one step further, these kids become adults who are still very curious about their sexuality. They have a lot of shame and resentment towards their own sexuality because they haven't figured it out. Oftentimes they are gay, or they have resentment towards gay people who are living their lives and have done all the sexual exploration and know who they are and stand boldly in they are. And so that pisses them off. And so what then do they do? Listen, this is a hot take. I think that religious households are a big culprit for creating predators. I do. Because just hear me out. These people grow up with a lot of resentment and shame, and they're still in the church, they're still in this shit, and they still want to explore. And the closest thing that they can explore with that won't say anything that they can control is a child. And so they get themselves into these positions of power to explore. This is one of the reasons why I believe that we keep hearing it. Now, I haven't said this out loud to anyone. So you guys are getting Spike Unplugged, okay? I've had these thoughts. I've been, I don't know how to put it into words. I don't want to
unplug a cord again.
What's that?
Don't actually unplug a cord.
Right. I don't want to. No, we're plugged in. I don't want to be offensive in this conversation, but I really want people to pause and to think about that, right? Because, again, we have these bills against trans people and against drag people because we want to protect the kids in the public bathrooms, right? Or at the Sunday brunch drag show. Which, if you don't want your kid there, don't take your fucking kid. You know what I mean? Take them to Hooters, like you wanted to go to Hooters.
Well,
I've been to many drag shows. The daytime drag shows are different than the nighttime drag shows.
But the drag shows that some of these kids are being brought to, they are actually illegal because they need a cabaret license and they don't have one.
Yeah, but if and listen.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. But it's like,
yeah, I get it. But like, at the end of the day,
bringing a child to, and I'm talking about the really bad ones that everyone circulates. I have no problems with, because I've been to tons of drag shows. I went to cosmetology school.
Right.
I don't have a problem with them unless they are like the inside of a strip club. A child has no place being there.
Well, they're bringing it to coffee shops now.
Yeah.
Well, they're bringing drag story hour now. Be careful now, because they're bringing drag story hour. Now there might be some dancing, but they're not getting nude. And the thing about it is,
they're not getting nude, but they're getting down to basically nude.
So like a Hooters girl.
Or a stripper that works at a bikini bar.
I've yet to see any drag performance in front of kids where they got down to some stripper.
Oh, I have.
Bikini. Okay, and listen, I don't watch those type of drag shows, so I don't know anything about them.
I love them, but kids shouldn't be there.
Okay, so but my point is this. They're not your kids.
I actually tricked all the guys when I was dating my ex-husband. I was like 17, 18. I tricked everyone into going to a club to go see a drag show. They had no idea that it was a gay club or that there was a drag show. Oh yeah, they had a blast. We loved it.
It was fun.
When I went to a drag show, I realized what it was like to be a woman at a bar.
Oh my goodness! Oh, there you go.
I was like, "This is
take the L.
This is what it feels like."
Take the lesson, team. What I'm trying to sum up my point with this is that they're not your kids, right? If you don't want to take your kids to a drag show, don't take them. You can have your opinion about bad parenting, but bad parenting is a thing in society. There are parents who take their kids to fucking Hooters. There are parents who take their kids to fucking drag shows, and there are parents who put their kids in these fucking what are these? They're trying to get the crown, dressing them up like
pageants.
These pageants, that's out of control.
That's bad.
Right? And then there are parents who take their kids to church. There are parents who put their kids in the church, into church, and some of those kids end up getting hurt. Bad parenting.
But that sounds like you're placing the blame solely on the parents and not the predator.
And the church and not the predator.
And the church and not the predator. Because here's the thing: when
Yes.
I take like when
Yes
I
and-
take
yes
my
and no.
son,
Yes and no.
when I
I'll-
take
I'll
my
agree.
son to church, I take him because we're Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I chose to remain Catholic throughout my life, and I raised my kids with the Catholic faith. But when they turned away, that was their choice.
Good.
But when I take my son to church, I take him to learn about God, to learn about our religion. If I took him to a drag show, I'm taking him to see I don't know, or do they identify as women?
You're taking them to see a costume show. That's it. You're taking them to see.
Yeah,
a
but some
man
of them
in
they
makeup.
push
A
the
man in makeup.
envelope
They-
too
but yeah.
far.
Yeah, that's
Like in Kansas, it was a few years ago. They had drag queen reading at one of the libraries, and the drag queen was a registered sex offender.
Yep.
They did not stop it because they didn't want to send a message that they thought all drag queens were registered sex offenders.
Well,
So they
because-
allowed the kids
Oh.
to be in contact with a sex offender.
and that's a shitty thing to do. And those people.
Oh, it
are
absolutely
shitty,
is.
right? Those people
See,
are
I
shitty.
agree with a lot of what you say.
Yeah.
I just disagree with that we need the government to get more involved. They need to get the fuck away. Like,
Well,
less
but
involved.
okay, so then therein lies the rub, because they're right there. I absolutely can meet you there. There are bills that became laws against drag queens because people were told by the media
Well, and that's why I
that
said
drag
about
queens were coming for their kids.
exactly, and
now
that's why
But they
I
said it
said
themselves.
that have to
no.
navigate
That
life
actually is
different-
false.
They
It
have
was
to
the
navigate
guy
life
behind the
different. And
camera
that's what-
saying it.
It was a lot. No, there was many different voices that were on that. What is it? Is it
I
fake
find-
again? Is it fake again? Oh, it's more
It wa-
manipulated.
no, I because Tim Pool made a big deal that DeSantis used his video, and somebody broke it down, and it is the guy behind the camera in that specific video.
It's
I
not
don't
the guy behind. I watched
It
the
is.
video. I
I don't know
watched.
what
The,
the hell
I
talking
heard
about.
many different. I heard
where
many
they're
different
saying we're
voices.
gay and we're coming for you, or we're
And
here,
that's-
we're
That-
queer,
oh
and we're
my
coming
God.
for your
First of
kids.
all,
And there's a
can-
whole
can the gay man
song.
speak? May the
There's a
gays-
whole
can
song.
the
The
gay
gay
Well,
man's been
yeah.
speaking for a little while. All right.
Well, welcome to being on a show with Davey. Okay.
I'm just saying that
Couldn't
Tim
learn it
Pool
advice.
video
I had to quickly
is
say what I
not
had to say. Go
is-
ahead.
it wasn't them that was saying it. It was the guy behind the camera.
That clip is that song is old, guys. That
Mhm.
song
It
is from
doesn't make it
it's
right.
pre-pandemic. It's satire. It is absolute satire. It is what they did was they was giving.
So
y'all something
then,
to be pissed about.
anybody
You
can
have to
sing any.
wait. You have to forget, Davey. He is very anti-gay and anti-trans.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
But
we
that's
know.
why I'm here. That's that's
Oh,
why
I
I'm here.
argue with him all the time,
Spike
and I
tells
always
me all the
win.
No,
Spike,
I don't
Spike
think
always
he's anti- I
tells
don't
me.
think he's anti-gay or
Spike,
anti-trans.
Spike always tells me, just tell me you don't like gay people and you don't like trans people.
No, that's
Just
not what I
tell-
say. I say some of y'all just don't like gay people, and you know,
Well,
some
the
of y'all
other
just don't like
thing,
gay, and that's okay. It's
I
okay.
just-
the other thing I wanted to add though is a lot of people they do have hate on Christians,
Yes,
but the
and a lot of
Catholic
people have hate on
faith,
gays.
the Catholic faith, and that's what I do. I went to 12 years of Catholic school. I learned it inside and out. If I were to judge someone for being gay or tell them that they're going downstairs, I can't say it, it's a trigger word for me, or anything like that, I'm acting as a false prophet, and it's actually a worse sin than
Mhm.
being gay itself. So my daughters are, one is bi and the other thinks she's a lesbian, but she's attracted to men. She's very confused. I'm bisexual myself, and they were raised in a religious family. They went to Catholic school as well. So when you say like
If the
religious,
church ain't making predators, they show us making gays.
well, when you say that religious families aren't supporting kids and are shaming them, that's not in the Catholic faith, anyways. In the other
Okay.
Christian
It's not-
denominations, maybe,
It's not. I don't.
but it's the fucking evangelists.
once
that
again-
give us a bad name.
But once
Right.
again, it's the
Whatever-
individual.
whatever it
It's the individual person. It's the parent that's a piece of garbage that is not teaching them the true religion. The parent is once again using the false prophet of the devil to try to put God into them and do bad things.
Well,
So
and
that's
this
not. And that's
yeah.
not. And once again, it's not the.
and this is how This is how I explained it to my daughter. I do not have to disown her because she's a lesbian. I can attend her wedding, but it would be a sin for me to pay for it because I'm not allowed to assist
just cheap.
someone. No, I would pay for it if I had to, but I'm not allowed to assist someone in sinning. But I can support her. But there are some people that just take things in the Christian faith way too literally. And that's actually not what at least Catholics, that's not what it's about.
The only difference between Catholics and Christians is we don't go to an old man to tell our sins to. It's the same. It's basically the same thing. We just don't have a father.
Go to confession once and tell me how great you feel after. It's like taking a fucking
I don't have
shower.
to go to an old man and tell him how I feel. I could just talk to God myself and say, "Hey, this is what I did."
Okay. It's more
but
than
not even
just
that. He knows what I've done. He knows what I've done. The thing is,
why wouldn't you go, Davey? Why wouldn't you go to the old man in the box?
He's scared of the old man in the box.
I'm scared of old people. I'm scared of old people.
Sweaty.
But here's the thing: it's like you don't have to go. You don't have to go. Stop talking over each other.
No, I'm trying to say they're separate boxes. You're not sitting in a tiny box with him. There's walls in between and a little screen.
I get that.
See, even in church they separate the genders. Anyway, but what I'm saying is in what I feel is that if I don't have to go to somebody. I don't have to talk to somebody. I can talk to God myself. God knows already what you've done. Okay? He knows what you've done. The thing is, we internalize everything. Our heads are the devil's playground, and we internalize it, and we think about it, and we think about what this and what that, and we turn it into what it could be, and don't wait till what it is. Okay. So with what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to just learn to give it up. I'm learning to give it up. Any fear, any anxiety, any anger, anything that I'm going through, I am learning to just give it up and let God deal with it and put it in God's hands and knowing and fully feeling in my heart that God has a plan for me. And even though God, listen, when you start lifting, in order for you to, when you start lifting, you are in pain, you hurt, you're in agony, right? But then after a little while, you stop being in pain, you stop being hurt, you stop being in agony. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're a different person. You have a different mindset. You look different. You feel different.
Okay, here's my question. When you give it to God, do you just let him have it and do nothing else?
Is that part?
My inner thoughts, yeah. My inner thoughts, yes. My inner thoughts, my insecurities, my insecurities.
Why do you think that God wants you to just give it all to him and not do the work yourself too?
Because God can handle everything, and God is with you at every step of the way. So,
but that doesn't mean that you
I didn't say I don't know what I want for dinner, God. Why don't you tell me what I want for dinner? It's not that. I'm talking about how the bad feelings that I have, and like Spike was saying, you have to look in the mirror and project that you are a bad motherfucker and that you can do it and that you are doing the right thing. And that's what you have to look and say. Okay. But when you have that doubt, when you speak the bad things and don't give it to God, that's when you start to let the devil in. That's when you start to feel like shit. That's when your mind starts to wander and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's the next day is going to bring. So what are you doing feeling all that stuff now if you don't know? And you have to stop and just say, hey, I give this to God and stop.
What if God wants you to feel those things?
Then he will let you feel those things and he won't take them from you.
But you just said you give them to him.
You're giving it right back
he
to
gives
him.
you, God gave us free will.
Mm-hmm.
So just because he takes it doesn't, and because you gave it to him, it doesn't mean that's what his plan is.
She's speaking, right? She's speaking. I'm gonna catch the Holy Ghost here. It's the Holy Ghost.
Is it velvet? Is he wearing velvet?
Hey, Holy Ghost.
But yeah, I get that. But
well, and that's
do you get that? Like, do you get what she's saying? Like, what did she just say? What did she just say?
Thank you.
Why is it? Why should I just give it to God? Why do you think? Why is it that?
Well, no, I'm
you
not
think
saying
that you can?
you shouldn't
No.
give
Why?
it to
Why?
God.
Why
That
should
shouldn't
I?
be your only thing.
No.
I think what I heard is you gotta sit with it.
Yeah.
You gotta sit with it. Like if God is bringing you if God's bringing you some food, okay, and it's going to be a little spicy. This one, okay, this is a fresh batch of chilies.
This was brought by my husband. It's just bad timing.
Oh, okay. So,
always-
that's God. He's always on time.
You
okay?
said God brings
Okay.
food, and I grabbed
Hey.
food.
Whoa, it's
Here
getting
you
smoky
go.
over here. God is arriving. Okay. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look so beautiful in the sunlight? The sun is setting. And you got the two people up there in love.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
look at that.
I cued the smoke because
Oh, I thought he was talking about me. I was like, oh, thank you.
oh, you're cute. No, you're cute. You're absolutely cute. Your spirit is amazing. I love it. It's
Thank
really
you.
fun to hang out with you and talk to you. If God is bringing you some spicy
Yo,
food,
that is fucking badass.
isn't that badass? So that
Can
that
you move the
image,
camera without destroying everything?
yes.
Is that the
I'm
Nightmare
plugged
Before
in now.
Christmas?
So that
Oh,
I wish this thing would go up
yeah.
a little bit further.
Oh, that
maybe-
is beautiful.
Is that
That's your
maybe
window?
$10 if you can tell me what that is. Oh, and now you
That-
can see my little Spike. That's little Spike.
I know.
So all of this
it
behind me
is.
is
that's
everything.
Cagney, James Cagney, or
I don't know the artist's name. So you
is
might
that Singing in the Rain?
No, it is very very good very good choice.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
So is that
This
yogurt?
is my favorite movie.
Not
of all
Breakfast
time.
at Tiffany's.
No. Good. You're in the right. You know what's interesting is that you're in the right era, but this movie was not made in that era.
Casablanca.
It's on the tip of my tongue,
Yeah.
and I can't. Bleh.
It's a beautiful film. I'll give you some hints. It's a silent film.
Mm-hmm.
Silent film. And it's a movie about how the movies went from black and white and became color. And this man was the biggest actor in black and white films. And it's a love story because this woman was his biggest fan and wanted to be an actress, and she came up and then finally got to work with him. And then guess what happened, folks? Color happened. And then was it color or was it sound? No, it was sound. Sound and color, I think, were the newest trend. And guess who was the hottest actor in that trend? And it was her. And he was becoming old. So it's this beautiful,
Is that Katharine
beautiful love
Hepburn?
story. No, I don't know who the actor are, but it is called The Artist.
That's it. The
That's
artist.
the movie.
It's a beautiful film.
I love old films.
I do too.
They don't make them good anymore. Well, I'll let you know after
don't
I
make-
see Beyond
They
Tuesday.
don't make good movies anymore. But I figured we'd get a little foggy. No one's gonna say anything about the smoke that I just filled the place up with. No one, not interesting to you guys at all.
Wait.
You're just partying out.
Are
till
you
get
just
a rehab.
asking for a reaction?
I am. I want you to say something.
Are
We-
you
we
smoking weed, Spike?
No, I'm not about to. I haven't smoked weed in a very long
Oh God, me neither. I'm allergic.
time.
You're far away. We can't hear you.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
You got to eat.
I haven't smoked weed in a very long time. So I kind of want to. I have so much weed, but I haven't smoked in a long time. So I was curious about getting a little elevated on this live.
Do whatever you want there, buddy.
I possibly will. I'm pausing.
Bring the camera down again. Well, no, leave it up there. It's a nice picture. I like it.
Okay, I can. It's whatever.
But yeah, no, it's
Can I tell you about my
See-
my relationship with God
Mhm.
and how I got back to God? This was the final thing that I wanted to say. So the true earth discussion is what brought me back to God. I had segued away. I had distanced myself from God because of religion and just a lot of stuff that I, and it might be what you guys are saying, right? I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna reflect on that because I don't want to say, what did you guys say? You said it's the religion and not the predator, right? And so I don't, and that's why
it's the message, not the messenger.
Understood. And I can meet you there. And again, this is why I haven't spoken this out loud. This was the first time that I spoke this out loud as eloquently as I did. And I'm still trying to navigate the verbiage on it because when I say something like this, I want it to connect. And I'm okay with it being uncomfortable, but I want it to connect in that it gives people pause, right? They have to like think, like, fuck, it makes me angry, but is he right? Like, what the fuck? Like, I want people to think about it, right? But True Earth, how I got back to God was through the flat Earth discussion.
That is exactly my thoughts when I saw that, Davy. Sorry, I just sent Davy. Elon Musk is hosting a space on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it this week, that nobody is allowed to speak until Donald Trump joins.
Speak what?
They're sitting there waiting to try to force Trump to come into a Twitter space. Is what they're doing. Because they worship the man. You gotta watch How to Become a Cult Leader, and then you'll see why I hate Trump.
So you're navigating, Spike, and
the True Earth is, I'll keep it short. The True Earth discussion is what brought me closer to God, because I was, I follow a guy by the name of Caleb FE, which stands for Flat Earth, Caleb.fe, I think, on TikTok.
Yeah, I've seen his videos.
Caleb, he makes of the flat earthers who make content. There's a lot of shitty ass content out there that's just like, probably some good people, but they just they want to try to go viral, and this is what they love to talk about, but they're kind of messing up the conversation because it looks really, really sketchy. Caleb, not the case. Makes really, really good quality content. And I've gone down many rabbit holes post pandemic, and the flat earth discussion is one of them. And it's one that I'm very thankful for, because it has brought me closer.
Are you in the Facebook group that has flat earthers from around the globe?
I just joined. Listen, because I make flat Earth content, so I started.
Okay, but around the globe.
That's where my brain just fried for a second, and I was like,
globes are spheres.
That's correct. That is correct.
A sphere is round.
Yeah, that's
not
what we were taught.
Flat.
Correct. That is what we were taught. And so,
it's not what we were taught. It's exactly what it is.
Right, based on what you were taught. You were taught that it's a sphere, and so that's what you know, and that's what
I've seen videos.
Yeah,
I've been to space.
It wasn't until somebody taught you.
I've been to space.
You've been to space. You've seen the Earth from space.
I was abducted by aliens. No, I'm joking. Okay. There actually is a trafficking victim online or on TikTok that says that she was abducted by aliens and trafficked in spacecraft.
I don't disbelieve her, but I also don't.
I do. She needs help.
Is what we were told that it was. So, I don't know the shape of the Earth, and so I kind of want to, let's be clear. I don't know the shape of the Earth, and if we're gonna be keeping it 100,
you and my kid would get along so well.
I love that. No one knows the shape of the Earth.
You should hear him go on about the Mandela effect. He goes into. He's studying quantum physics right now. Yeah. He's 9.
So your son's intelligent.
He's autistic. Yeah.
Okay.
He is
even
way smarter than I am.
He's way out of this world intelligent, right?
He tested in the top 2% in the world for his IQ.
I believe that. If he's navigating the flat Earth discussion at that age, that man is intelligent. And because listen, and I'm not judging anybody in this room. I'm not judging
there's this kid, Max.
Only intelligent people can navigate this discussion. Because
there's a kid, his name's Max Laughlin, and I think he's like 15 years old, and he was talking about the Mandela effect was because we were temporarily put into an alternate dimension and then brought back, and he went into like the whole quantum physics of it.
Sure.
And I was just watching the video. I think someone sent it to me. I don't remember who it was. And my son was just like, his argument is very flawed. I'm like, okay, enlighten me. Well, if we went to an alternate dimension and came back, that wouldn't create the Mandela effect unless Jeff magically turned back into Jeffy. So the only way that it makes sense is that we went into an alternate dimension and stayed there. And that's why everything is the way that it is. I told him to shut up and get out of my room.
Whoopi has a question. So if the Earth is flat, why doesn't the ocean start draining?
Because Antarctica is the ice wall around the Earth.
There's an ice wall. There's an ice wall.
It's a theory.
If you navigate, let me just say this real quick. If you navigate the discussion and you lean into it, you don't try to solve, because again, anything that anyone's going to say in rebuttal to the flat Earth discussion is what they're just regurgitating what they have been shown and taught by a government.
Well, you want to know how I learned about the ice wall?
To be corrupt. Period. So people can regurgitate. They can solve all they want to. Solve. You've been trained to do it, and you do. And
Spike, you want to know how I learned about the ice wall?
How'd you learn?
I said to my son, I was like, "Don't our cats knock everything off the counters?" And he was like, "Yeah." Don't you think if the earth was flat, everything would have been knocked off by now by cats? He researched, then came back with the ice wall. I'm like, fucking hate you so much. Like, I love you, but go away.
Well, listen, you got to leave.
He's a smart kid. I don't.
He's a smart kid. Listen,
It's
he
insane.
sounds like a smart kid. So
He is.
the flat Earth discussion brought me closer to God because Caleb hopped into my live one time and basically explained that, you know, what they want you to think is that you are just this thing floating in space, and that you're an accident, right? You came from a big bang, and that you are just you're irrelevant essentially to the universe, and that's not true. Everything that you are is designed, and you have everything that you need right with you, and you're not supposed to be living life this way. And that connected to me because I've always felt that. I've always felt like, man, God, this is such a fucking like what is this? And I think that we all navigate that at some point in our life, which is like, what is the meaning of life, right? I think that if you pause and just read the fucking room. We're cattle. We're cattle.
The Second Amendment.
Puerto Rican
from
flag.
Reagan. Actually, I do. I have a quote from Reagan. If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
Well, we're there, honey. We're there.
I know.
We've already forgotten.
I also have a really cool train too that my son drew.
So I think it's very interesting.
Different than the one you used to. But anyway,
I think the flat Earth discussion is very interesting. I think that it is.
You are terrible. I never had a train ran on me. Thank you very much.
That's horrible. That is horrible. If you're making jokes about her trafficking,
Dude, he does all the time. It's fine.
It's Friday.
It's
I don't
Sunday,
care,
sir.
No, still, it's.
No, I was saying to him, like, when I talk to my friends, that's why I love our show, because he jokes about my trauma, and most people think I'm just this fragile person that can't handle anything, and his jokes are kind of funny.
Well, I don't share in that humor.
I think it's funny, so don't be offended, because
honey, I'm not offended for you. I give a fuck less. But if you like it, I love it.
Well, and that's a lot of trauma survivors use dark humor to kind of cope. But like I said, everyone treats me sometimes like I'm just this fragile person. Like they're like, "Am I allowed to ask you this?" Like, dude, I'm still a human being. Like, treat me like a human being. Stop treating me like a victim. I'm a survivor. Don't play the music.
I was about to.
But I'm not my trauma. I'm not what happened to me. So when Davy jokes about my trauma, it reminds me of that I'm not my trauma.
But that's what the thing is, like, here's where my head went. People want to talk about, like, this is way off. People want to talk about equality and stuff like that. That's equality. You know what I mean? Where she is a trauma survivor, and we can joke about it. If she's like, well, you know, you can't joke about that because I'm a trauma survivor, and that, then you want to be elevated to a different level because of something. You know what I mean? If I could sit there and you as a gentleman who likes gentlemen and make gentleman jokes about it, you know, like 2 balls, your husband brought you 2 balls, like that's busting. But we were talking about love languages before, and that should be the 6th love language, is busting balls, because you don't bust balls with people you aren't like have something in your heart
Baby,
for.
Wasn't it Matt Rife that was cracking jokes about being in a wheelchair, and the woman that was in the wheelchair was like, "Thank you for including me."
Loved it. Yeah, and then I fucked her. I loved it. I loved it. I love that he told that story because she felt included, right? That was the whole message.
And that's what I said, is like, he makes me feel human. And a lot of people, like my one friend and one of my board members, she said it perfectly. Like, people treat me like I'm a zoo animal. Like,
honey,
Davey, mute yourself for this one. But it's like they want to act like I've been asked how many STDs I've had, how I was supposed to act during sales. Like these aren't questions you ask normal people. So why do people think it's okay to ask me that? Davy, stop.
Well, do you
Breathe.
talk about it though?
Breathe.
If you talk about your experiences and what you're navigating, you invite people to ask you questions, right? But you don't invite people to make fun of you. Now that's a relationship that you guys have built, and I think that's wonderful, right? Not everybody who's gone
But
through trauma
okay,
is
but
going
I
to
mean,
respond to trauma.
how would you feel if
So,
just some random person came up to you and said, "Do you have AIDS?"
well, you just did.
I'm not.
So,
I'm not asking. But I'm saying, like,
I've never even had those words.
yeah,
In
but
a
that's
sentence
the thing.
before
Like,
you
just
today.
because
So,
you're
how
open
I feel
about,
right now.
but it's like back in the day
I
when,
feel like shit.
yeah, but it's like just
'cause you have
because
AIDS.
you openly talk about being gay doesn't give
have
someone
AIDS.
the right to ask inappropriate
Not full
questions.
on ever, not full on head, but AIDS. You should play.
But and that's the thing. Like,
a Family Guy
people
episode.
and that people don't treat me like I'm an actual person. I'm a thing that they view, that they spectate, that they can just ask whatever they want, no matter how inappropriate it is. They demand things of me, and I don't bring that on myself by sharing my story. That's them
Yeah.
being assholes.
Correct. Dylan Mulvaney could write a book on it.
I love Dylan.
Dylan
Mulvaney.
Mulvaney could write a
Me and
book
my
on
husband
it.
fight about her all the time.
I fucking love Dylan Mulvaney. She's my girl. She's that girl.
He's an actor.
I love Dylan Mulvaney. And you know, there was a point there was a time and a point which I didn't. I was very concerned.
Well, see, my biggest thing
was just
about
me
Dylan Mulvaney
being,
is
you know,
why did everyone decide to boycott Bud Light over an exclusive six pack and not because it tastes like piss? Like, can we boycott it because it's a shitty beer and not care that
because
six
do you
cans
want me to
had
answer
Dylan
that?
Mulvaney's
Or did
face
she
on
let
it?
Davey answer that? Davey, you answer that.
It's because
I'm not
Dylan
gonna be
Mulvaney's
nice.
audience is all children.
No, it's
What's that?
not.
Most of Dylan Mulvaney's audience is children.
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect. That's highly incorrect. That is misinformation. Shut this live down.
YouTube might just for you saying
I'm
that.
recording this live as we speak. Reported. Dylan
Well,
Mulvaney
and that's the
has a
same
very
thing with
wide
the
audience.
Jeffrey
She has a
Marsh
very
thing.
wide audience. She has a lot of parents that use her content, and a lot of parents have been helped by her content. She has a lot of people who are transitioning that are navigating adults and teens that are having questions about this shit. Dylan Mulvaney is a celebrity, honey. She's a celebrity, and what I love about Dylan Mulvaney is that she has built so many people's careers. Dylan Mulvaney is owed a motherfucking check from all these conservative, freaking just angry,
Jeffrey
upset
Marsh, too.
adult babies. Okay, I'm just go ahead and say I love my conservatives. I love my Christian conservatives, but y'all, that shit
They
right
are
there,
so
facts over
filled with
feelings,
trans hate.
you're so
Especially this one.
emotional. So emotional. Bud Light did Dylan dirty, man. Bud Light did Dylan dirty. If y'all know like the true story, Dylan was sent a can. Long story short, she was sent a can.
That's all that was.
Fucking can. One fucking can. Sent a can.
Which they have done to multiple other celebrities.
Multiple other celebrities, right? It was a big accomplishment for her. It was her accomplishment alone. No, it didn't affect women, didn't do anything. Sent her a can, told her to post about it. This is where it gets shitty. Told her to post about it. She posts about it, right? Then that makes it like a promotional thing for them or whatever. And then the backlash happens, right? Bud Light then taps the fuck out, doesn't contact Dylan, doesn't fucking reach out to her, doesn't apologize, doesn't like stand with her. Dylan received the amount of hate that this
over one can
over something that was not even her idea to fucking do,
and a beer that tastes like piss.
A shitty ass beer that the gays love anyway. Come on, you know what I mean? Bud Light was doing that to keep the business going, and it was a smart move for Bud Light.
This is very painful for Davey.
I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. You got to check.
We're all entitled to our. No, I'm not. It's not emotion. I just think I don't agree.
Why were people throwing out
and
dirt cans over a gift that was given to somebody? Why? Like what?
It was one exclusive. Like people were acting like that can was being sold throughout the country. But they were acting like it was
Voltamont.
being sold all over the country in stores everywhere, and that's just not true. It was an
was
exclusive
not true at all.
plant.
Was not true at all. And if we push the conversation further, they threw out beer that they already bought. First of all, that's just like you're not thinking there, right? Bud Light already made the money. But you know who that really hurt? You know who the boycotts really hurt? They thought they were hurting Bud Light. Bud Light has already made the money for all the sales of beer that were not being bought now at mom and pop shops. That's who got hurt the most by the backlash.
No, because people bought other beer.
No, there was
they already bought the cases of Bud Light that they could no longer sell.
There was
money on that.
There was a video
of
there was a
They're
video.
gonna buy it back.
There was a video there was let me say this. There was a video of a guy that's a Bud Light distributor, or I can't say that word. I think I said it right. Distributor. Yeah, I hate that. I fucking hate that word.
Put your teeth in.
Whether I have my teeth in or not, I can't say it.
Do you have no fake teeth?
Yeah, I had all my teeth taken out earlier this year.
Punched out, more like
goodness.
It. No, they were extracted by a dentist. But there was a whatever, the people that deliver it to the stores, he was losing money because they weren't being bought and they were being stuck on the shelves.
Kobe, Kobe on TikTok, he has several bars. He had so much stock he couldn't sell. That's who it hurt. Mm-hmm. That's who y'all hurt. So with all the emotion, right? All the emotion, all the boohooing over a beer,
anti-cancel culture.
Y'all only hurt yourselves. You only hurt the American civilian. Bud Light is laughing. This is not a loss for them. They'll just write this off and they will restructure it. And guess who's still going to pay for it? The people who drink the other products that Bud Light makes.
Anheuser-Busch makes a lot, and they have two. Anheuser-Busch has what? In Virginia and in Florida, they have amusement parks, Busch Gardens. So
I think it was strategic. I think it has something to do with Ron DeSantis. That's what I think.
Well,
I think that Bud Light.
What is her name?
And they said, well, we're gonna tank this in the name of trans people, right? So that it pushes you further, because then he came out with those anti-trans bills. I think it was cahoots, because the government's owned by the corporations any damn way. So I think it's all part of
what is Hold on, I'm trying to find her account. I don't know if I follow her anymore, but she's like she's a woman. She works in marketing, and she laid it all out that they planned for it. They knew it was going to happen, and they had their backup plan already set.
I was just thinking that I've never even heard anybody agree with me on it yet. So I think that's very interesting, man. I think it's just very interesting how the game is played at that level.
Mm-hmm.
How the game is played.
Well, and that was the whole controversy with Jeffrey Marsh making a Patreon because he said kids. And see, when I love Jeffrey Marsh, I think they're awesome. I don't think they're a predator. I don't think they're targeting kids.
Same.
It's like when I say like my kids on Twitter, the kids that I'm friends with on Twitter, they're in their 20s. They're the same age as my daughters. But there is no way for a minor to have a Patreon account without a parent knowing. And I have tried so many different ways. It is impossible.
So, do you know what I hate? You know what I hate is that, so with the Jeffrey Marsh conversation, when that discussion, the Jeffrey Marsh discussion taught me so fucking much about the people who follow me. That's because I was fighting that battle alone. I was like, Jeffrey Marsh is being lied on. Like, Jeffrey Marsh is not
right with you.
I would talk about taking L's. I was being ratioed at it, and I was just like, I'm not even defending Jeffrey Marsh. I'm just telling you that the fucking the Indian lady, she was lying. She was straight up lying. She said that.
I mean, what happened to her was terrible, but
I think she was lying about that. I don't think nobody came for her kids. I think she was just trying to do that. But anyway,
I thought there was proof that came out about that.
I honestly don't even care, because I care about the kids, but it's a shame what that bad parent is doing to her kids. She's got millions of followers, and she's creating these lies that people can easily find out. And I did. And what pissed me off, the reason why that says unplugged on there and no longer Millennial Spike Lee.
You want to know why my first TikTok account got banned?
Why?
Because I said, so it was about transgenders transgenders using women's bathrooms and that women were going to get raped and all of this stuff. I'm like, you are just exploiting sexual assault to push your hateful rhetoric.
Speak on it, boo. Speak on it.
I
Speak
have
on
been
it,
going
Kelly.
in. I have been going in women's bathrooms my entire life.
Speak on
I've
it.
been going in men's bathrooms my
Speak
entire
on
life.
it.
There has never been somebody guarding a bathroom to stop a man from going in.
Woo!
It doesn't happen. And if you don't care about the trans man or the trans boy using the men's room, then you don't fucking care at all. Because I'm more worried about a biological female in a room with a bunch of men than I am worried about a biological man in a very crowded women's bathroom.
Oh, I just feel I feel like I'm hurt. I feel like I feel seen. I'm telling you, I fucking fought that. So again, it changed everything. The Jeffrey Marsh discussion changed it because I was like, oh man.
Well, and what's that other woman that goes on about
say about gay people? Because some of y'all just don't like gay people.
What is that one?
That's when it was like very clear to me. Like I'm tapping out.
There's that little woman. She dresses up in like a fairy outfit and goes on and on about different pronouns and how you use them. And
I've seen her. She talks about like the frog.
Yeah, I think she's adorable. I don't know why people are so bothered by it. And that's what I say. Like, if a trans woman makes you feel less of a woman, that's you. That's your problem. I don't feel less of a woman.
Never about women.
Like, and that's about women. The tampon video where he was like, oh my God, where does it go? I think it's hilarious. Maybe I love that video.
You should have paired me over there because
I love it.
Validating me now. It feels good because it's I haven't been able to talk about this with anybody. And you're right. Everything you're saying is right. And again, I navigated the other side when I first started. I was like very cautious about like a lot of the trans stuff, and I was like, well, hold on. We got to stick up for some of these heterosexuals. But then as I continued to navigate, I was like, what are we talking about here, guys? The bathroom bills that are against trans people are just like the gun bills that liberals want to have against guns, right? So hear this out, right? You can't ban guns because criminals will still get guns. That is the biggest argument that is made from that side. Okay, so now banning trans people from using the bathroom that they identify is going to stop a criminal? Make it make sense.
So I went to, and I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but I went to an American Idol concert when it was still like really popular. The winners would go to concerts, and there was a long line. I was pregnant with my middle child. And I walked into the men's room. I'm like, if you don't want me to see your penises, you hide them. And I squatted. You're in public, baby. You're in public. I squatted over that urinal and peed. And they're all like, man, we can get you a stall. I'm like, nope, can't hold it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel like these men were going to harm me. But it's 100%. Like, before the bans went into place, what was stopping it from happening? Nothing.
Who's going to stop it now? Nobody's going to be there at the door asking what their genitals are. So that law literally was just pandering.
Well,
it was just pandering to conservative mindset.
Listen, if I see what I perceive as a man walking into a woman's bathroom,
what are you going to do, Dave?
I'm going to stop it.
You're going to stop it? In what way? In what way?
What happens in women's bathrooms?
What are you going to do? Like, seriously.
I will not let.
Do you want to know the difference between a men's room and a female and a women's room? You want to know what the difference is? A women's room is all stalls. That's the difference.
Tell it.
Listen, that's my belief.
You're gonna physically attack someone from going into the bathroom?
Yeah. What if you see a little girl?
If my daughter is in the bathroom, my niece, anything like that, and what I perceive is a man in a dress, I will stop it.
And what will you do?
The men's bathroom with you and get in a damn stall, and you sit by that stall and you protect that stall. If I had a daughter, that's what I would do. I would say, men, I got a little lady coming in, wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I would walk my little daughter in there, and I would tell her to go to the stall.
There's a certain point where you can't walk your daughter into the bathroom.
What would you do if you saw a man? What would you do if you saw a grown man bringing an 11-year-old girl into the men's room?
I'd move out of the way.
Exactly.
Okay. But there's a
I
difference.
was brought
There's
into.
a huge
What's
difference.
the difference? I
That
was
right
brought
there is
into.
amazing.
I was brought
There's a difference
into
between
men's.
a man going
I
into
was
a
brought
woman's
How do
into
you
room.
know that
men's
that man
bathrooms and
is
trafficked
supposed
in
to be with that
men's
little girl?
bathrooms.
How do you know if that man isn't trafficking that little girl? That's
Exactly.
where you should lean in and ask some questions.
Listen, that's what I believe.
And see that, and to bring it on around, that's like a, I don't want to say it's religious, but
it's like you
that
got
does not
like
sound like a
Davey,
safe
like you're
space for
under
child-
the
for a child.
impression that a grown man is going to walk past hundreds of people into a store or in a store, walk into a bathroom, snatch a woman, drag her into a stall, and sexually assault her. And nobody's going to say anything. And when the cops get called, he's going to say, well, I identify as a woman. And the cops
Right.
will be like,
Because
oh,
that
okay.
hasn't happened.
And the cop's gonna be like, oh,
That
okay,
hasn't happened.
ma'am,
No,
sorry.
the
There-
cops
there-
let,
there-
the,
you gotta
the
let him
cops
eat it out.
let them
You
get
gotta let him
away
eat it
with
out.
it because they say they
There's
identify
some-
as a male.
Look at what's
or
going on in
women.
the jails. There's men who are having
Jails.
sexual risks. There's men who are identifying as women to go into women's jails.
Okay,
then-
fantastic.
Yeah,
'cause
You know
they're
what?
tired of the
Jail, you have no rights. Okay, your rights are taken away. So we can't
but
argue
they're-
that point because these people have no rights. Now,
Yeah,
if
but
you want to,
they're
give rights
fighting
to
for the
these
right
people
to
that-
go into a woman's jail, which is not right.
there is no rights. They are
But
properties
it's
of
not.
They're separate
but
for a
the
reason.
The thing is, though, it is
Why are they
not
separate?
going to increase or decrease the amount of sexual assaults that happen within
Period.
that jail.
Period.
They are still
It's no different
happening
than the gun.
whether trans women are in women jails or not. So if you want to make that argument, make it in a different way. Don't use sexual assault because
Period.
it's not
Just-
changing
I
anything.
don't believe a man should be in a woman's bathroom and a woman should be in a man's bathroom. I just don't.
Why not?
Because
A bathroom is a bathroom. What you doing in the bathroom? Listen, what are you doing in the bathroom? What you got going on in that bathroom?
you don't, just like what I
You just need to
just
do
like
your business.
just
and
the same thing what you have
get-
with religion and saying, that these people are harbored throughout religion. It's the same thing. They're
Hold on, explain that to me. What do you mean? They're the same thing. So I'm saying that religion is not a safe space
You're
for
saying,
children.
yeah,
because
but
the
you're
adults- hold on,
allowing.
I want to make it very clear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that religion is not a safe space for children because the adults will prioritize the religion above the safety of the child, and they do that. The Mormon Church just came out with a new law that says that they don't have to report on child sex crimes.
Oh, well, the
that's wrong.
Mormon Church is a cult.
Yeah, the
Well,
Mormon Church is a cult.
Scientology, the same thing.
Scientology.
Catholicism-
Don't mention
Catholicism not-
Scientology. He'll accuse me of being a Scientologist.
Well, she did get a. She's not allowed. She's not allowed in Scientology land or wherever it is down in Florida.
Why?
She almost got arrested.
Did you get a meter reading?
I don't know.
She
I got
almost got arrested.
trespassed from Scientology property because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a suppressive person. I don't know why. I'm not a Scientologist. I don't know anybody that is a
Leah
Scientologist.
Remini's my girl. That's my boo.
Oh, I love Leah.
Leah tells you don't
She
need
is
to know shit
so
about
hot,
Scientology
too.
because Leah gonna tell you.
I heard a rumor that
Aftermath
they're
was
bringing King
brilliant.
of Queens back.
Ow! If
Didn't
they
Leah
bring
Remini
King of Queens
die?
back-
No.
If
She
they bring
actually
King
is
of Queens
suing
back-
she's suing Scientology
I'm
too.
gonna jerk off right now.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
She,
King Queen,
I
love
don't
big-
know.
Do you
Like,
love
I
big
might
white
have
boys.
misread it,
Love
but
big white
she
boys.
posted a scene and said, "Get ready for the
If Leah Remini
comeback" or something like that.
brings back King of Queens,
Mhm.
I will be a drag queen for the rest of my life.
I'll be a drag queen with you.
I'll be the queen of kings.
I love drag queens.
Listen, beautiful mistake. I don't think it was a mistake at all that you and I connected today because I appreciate everything you said, especially about Jeffrey Marsh. And I love the people who are still holding their ground about Jeffrey Marsh. Jeffrey Marsh ain't never hurt no damn kid. If anything, Jeffrey Marsh has helped many kids. I know people that Jeffrey Marsh has helped that are still alive today because of Jeffrey Marsh's content. The way that man was painted was terrible. And it shook me because I was like, it's this, because people started to say that I was a groomer, that I was a pedophile, because I was just literally speaking facts. The woman's lying on her, that overturned comedy or whatever her name is. She's lying on him. Here are the facts. And people say, you're a pedophile. L take. And I was like, wow. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm done.
Well, and that's the thing.
And
They
that's
throw
when Little Spike Lee-
They're sitting here and saying that the LGBTQIA plus community is trying to normalize pedophilia.
Speak on it, baby. Speak on it.
I do think there are portions within it with the maps and now the yaps.
I would love to talk about that. I would love to talk about that.
But they threw if you don't want to see Sound of Freedom, you're a pedophile.
Speak.
I can't even tell you how many fucking comments under Rob Reiner's Twitter. Every post he puts, and I think he's a douchebag, is why were you at Epstein's Island? Like Epstein is now a weapon of the right to use against the left. And it's like, who's normalizing it? The people that are using it as a weapon. And when you have kids that are confused about their sexuality, about their identity, and they're going to social media to find people that are like them, which is not something that I had when I realized my sexuality.
Neither did I. And yet I'm gay as hell. What's that about? Speak on that.
But it's
I wasn't groomed. Who groomed me? Shit.
I wasn't either.
The moose.
I just like pussy.
The moose.
But,
right, exactly. That moose was trying to.
And that's the thing is like when you see all this trans hate and it is all over social media.
Oh my God.
Attacked Pride Month more this month than they ever have.
Dude,
who do you think is going to go to these kids and say, well, I support you? The fucking predators are going to. They're going to use the trans hate that's coming from the right as their little segue to get in and to groom these children.
Well, if you don't, you better speak that motherfucking truth. You know what the fuck you're talking about, don't you?
Not the guys who had their balls hanging out, huh?
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Out of everything I just said, that's all you have.
I was listening. Right. I was taking it all in.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus Christ. That is amazing.
And Spike, this is what I meant. You can't say that all religious people are like that because I am very religious.
And I stand corrected. And you, my friend, are a beautiful saint, in your Catholic ways. Okay, and I love you forever. I navigate these discussions on my chat. You should hit me a follow on TikTok if you're on TikTok, and I'll definitely do the same back. Yeah, I'd love to have you in the conversation because I'm about to tap. I think I'm about to.
We're about to end. We're about to end.
Very good.
Davy's tired of losing, so he ends.
Damn, take the L. Take the L, Davy.
I'm listening.
Hey, damn, did we hijack your live? Damn.
No.
The liberals.
It's not a live. It's a podcast. But I wanted to kind of end with this.
Go ahead.
This little thing.
I had a fun time.
I did too. I always have a fun time with you guys.
I gotta learn to not look at myself, but I can't stop looking at my own damn self. I need to do it more.
So I kind of want to end it on this, because I think this is very true.
At Spike Unplugged.
Yeah, Spike Unplugged. Yep, that's me.
Okay.
And I'll
I just followed you.
You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Very good.
To be happy. Number one, you have to own your own happiness. What can I do to be happy? Number one, you have to own your own happiness. Your kids are not going to make you happy. Your spouse is not going to make you happy. A big house is not going to make you happy. Own your own happiness and be responsible for doing those things that bring joy into your own heart, independently of life and people and money and all of that stuff. Right. It doesn't necessarily give you a happiness. You have to take responsibility of that peace and that joy that lives inside of your heart and not inside of your stuff. The second thing that I think people need to do is challenge their own story, because people torment themselves by how they see their life. Challenge your own story. Change the way you talk to yourself about who you are and what happened to you and what you're going to do in your life. You wrote the script. Change the story. Change the dialogue. You can. Am I right? You know. Yeah. The third thing that I think is very important is to enjoy the journey, not the destination. A lot of us delay our happiness. When I get to this level, when I get my degree, when I get the kids, when I get married, I'm going to be happy. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the whole step, the whole process. Every day that you get up to strive for whatever it is you're after. You know, I'm a goal-oriented guy. Yeah, absolutely. But you don't celebrate when you get to the finish line. Celebrate all along the way. Celebrate all along the way. Yeah, man.
I'm here for it.
And I just, and I got to remember all those things. I really do. I mean, you have to. What? Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like what I said to you before we went live. You have to focus on yourself and what's best for you.
Period.
Yes, what's going on with your marriage right now is what pointed you in this direction, but that doesn't give her the right to walk all over you and do terrible things to you. No one deserves that.
Not even her. Not even her.
Yeah.
And I know listen, and I get it. I know how I'm focusing on one portion, but what I'm focusing on also isn't encompass my entire life. I do that. I mean, my entire life, I don't, and that's what I'm working on. I mean, I'm concentrating on.
Start now. Like
Stop trying and start doing.
There you go.
There is, and the guy that I was telling you about that I prayed for, that was one of the most important lessons I learned, because he called me out on my bullshit all the time. And those are the words that sunk deep. He said, you have to stop trying to be a better person and be the person that you are.
Yes. Be the person that you know who you are, man.
And on that note, thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, SpikeUnplugged.
Let me. I forgot to get.
Yeah, I'm like, God, can I just do a plug of my unpluggedness?
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing, man. SpikeUnplugged. Don't follow me. I'm currently on the unfollow me tour. Don't follow me. You can peruse my content. That's what I say. Don't follow me. Don't follow on the first swipe. Lastly, as the great Lady Gaga once said, people can do hard things. I'm out.
No, don't leave.
Okay. We're going to do the outro.
We're going to do the outro. Kelly, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on all major podcast platforms at the Unbroken Podcast, including Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, the Amazon Music, and Spotify. You can also find all my social media linked on my nonprofit website, afterthelastSaleFoundation.com.
And you can find me at MW Troublemaker on Twitter, and all my stuff is on there. And my new TikTok is just Davy. But yeah.
Oh, and our We Don't Know Either podcast Twitter.
We Don't Know Either podcast is Friday at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Where
and the Twitter account. Please follow us.
Yeah.
So where can I find this episode? Do I have this episode? Because I'm in my stream. I'm in my stream yard.
It's on the Weekend Hangover Twitter account. It's on the Weekend Hangover YouTube channel, and it is, you say that all the time, but it is on the Business Party Rumble account. So that's where all those are. Follow us on the Weekend Hangover Rumble account so we can go live. We can't do anything until we get 10 followers, and I think we have so sorry. But with that, thank you all very much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for helping me become a better person. Yeah, I mean, listen, I to everything that you guys have said, everything, now, even the trans stuff.
Start now.